Hello, and welcome to another episode. I am JABYBHAI, once again by myself. Abandoned Koei is what I'm going to name myself until Achara comes back. She's coming back very soon enough, but not soon enough for this reaction here. This reaction's going to go out, and then she's going to come back, and she's going to be like, why didn't you wait for me? And I'm going to say, because you snooze, you lose, and then you booze, because you lose. And that's why you... That's terrible. Before this gets any darker and stupider, let's announce what we're doing here. We're looking at DASARA, the official trailer starring NANI and Keerthy Suresh from Netflix India. I would imagine that this would get more views if Cricket wasn't on right now. I think Cricket's on right now. That's why it's only got 130,000 views. And so I'm here to help it out. I will also suffer from a lack of views on this video because of Cricket, but that's okay. It's fine. We're here anyway, hanging out, watching movies. This is what we do. If you guys haven't already, hit the subscribe button, bell icon, all notifications. Pretty please vote this up. Let YouTube know you're enjoying what you're watching. While you're subscribing and upvoting, make sure to comment below. Let me know what your favorite NANI film is. So... Okay, I have some feelings about that trailer. Positive, I think. So, Nani is one of my favorite actors from India. I think he's just fantastic. Natural star. I've always made fun of that, where I was like, you know, if I was a movie star in a South Indian film, I'd be like, it just, you know, my moniker would be just happy to be working star, JABYBHAI. They couldn't find anybody else, so they got JABYBHAI star. JABYBHAI. I think Nani's quite talented. I haven't seen enough of his movies, admittedly. Loved him in Jersey. Watched it twice, both in a dubbed version of the film and the original language. And I just think he's really, really good. I have seen him in trailers for films where he was playing more of a negative character, or just like kind of an anti-hero, as I recall. But this, it feels different somehow. He's got his shirt off a lot, for one thing. But he's got this energy and this... attitude about him of like, I will take you down. It's a very badass kind of attitude, but it's sort of this thing of, it's almost like you can't hurt me more than I can hurt myself. If that makes any kind of sense. It's like he's damaged or something, and he's damaged and dirty. It's this gritty sort of story, but at the heart of it seems to be a love story. There was that moment at the end where he's got that lady that, you know, they met when they were quite young, and I guess they fell in love as young kids. At the heart of it, he still loves this woman. And that's, I guess, what's motivating him. But he's also seemingly a drunkard. And there was a moment in there where they're like, there's nothing, you know, it's bad enough to, I forgot, I'm going to paraphrase this. There's something about how, you know, it's bad enough to do something while you're drunk, but to just not remember this awful thing that you did is like unthinkable, unforgivable. That's how far gone he is into this addiction of alcohol, which is not a good place to be. but in a way it kind of makes him invincible in a way, you know, sort of, because when you're drinking, you just don't give a damn. You're in full degaff mode, but he seems to have a power about him, as you will find sometimes in South Indian films. I don't know if he's invincible, but there is no indication that anyone can take him down. He's kind of just wiping the floor with people's faces. The one thing I guess I'm kind of lacking here is a sense of physical vulnerability in terms of fighting, but he definitely has an emotional vulnerability, and that came through quite strong towards the end of the trailer. There's something quite special about Nani, is the easiest way to put it. Throughout the trailer, you're seeing this bravado, this violence, this sort of swag, for lack of a better word, even though he's not like the coolest guy, because he's kind of a mess. He looks messy, but there's still something special about him because he's able to do things with his eyes that's just like that Malayalam actor whose name I can't remember right now, but he's like a really, really strong Malayalam actor, and y'all know who I'm talking about. He was in Pushpa, I believe, yeah, I think he was in Pushpa. Fafa, I think, is his nickname. Fahad Fasil. Did I get it? Kind of like him, Nani has this way of like communicating with his eyes that's just, you feel it, you know? You just feel it instantly, whatever it's going on. I don't know what his method is, if he's faking it or if he's convincing himself that he's feeling something, but I buy him in those moments. I remember watching him in Jersey and just like, there's this innocent quality to him. And so even though he's got this rough exterior in this role, Nani has this powerful way of bringing forward this innocence. And so that's what was, you know, shining through at the very end of the trailer. It's like he's gone through all this, but there's still this innocence underneath all of that. And it takes a remarkably good actor to be able to pull something like that off, to have this character that's super rough around the edges, and yet you can see something sweet in his eyes, if that's any way to put it. Yeah, I mean, it's definitely an interesting trailer, to say the least. What got me wanting to watch this, if I'm being totally honest, because I wasn't sure that I was going to look at it, was when you scroll over a trailer in YouTube, when it suggests you stuff, you kind of see frames as it skips through, and immediately I was kind of captivated by just the visual style of the trailer. And so in watching it now, you know, I went from being captured by the visual style to being captured by Nani and his performance, even though we've seen this kind of thing from South India quite a bit, where you have this guy who's just like kind of rock hard invincible. The element that makes him kind of different here is that he's sort of oscillating between this swaggy kind of character who doesn't take shit from anybody, and this guy who's just a wreck. He oscillates between these two things. He oscillates between kind of a swaggy guy and the guy who's just a mess. In terms of taking on a different approach to that kind of character, that South Indian archetype, you see this archetype a lot in South Indian films, especially with like Rajnikanth, right? But what makes this character different is that he seems to have, I don't know what it is, if it's like pain that he's suppressing or what, but all I can say is that it's interesting. So I'm going to conclude the video. Thanks so much for hanging out. I'm JABYBHAI. Peace out.